Good afternoon, Kentucky. This is Brittany Moses with this week's Week in Review. Lance Armstrong's former assistant is now coming forward to say that her revealing the cyclist's doping abuses almost a decade ago was never to bring the cyclist down. O'Reilly claims, quote, "This is an opportunity for riders to have the choice to ride clean and stay clean if they choose to." To make her story even more reliable, she tells of a time when Armstrong gave her a small plastic bag that he asked her to dispose of because he didn't feel comfortable disposing of it in the hotel. She said they felt like used syringes and knew that if it were anything legal, he could have disposed of them in normal fashion. She also recounted times when she gave him pills in a parking lot and the time he needed makeup to cover bruises caused by injections. She just wanted to speak up about it to save the game because her silence would only allow the doping culture to remain in place. In local news, the vice presidential debate was held in Danville, Kentucky, Thursday night. Biden was heavily talked about this week after that debate because of his demeanor throughout. Some sources say that he was trying to have the debate his boss, President Obama, didn't. Some have referred to his demeanor as aggressive, talking about how he laughed and shrugged off the allegations made by his counterpart, Ryan. At the presidential debate, President Obama was considered too polite and easygoing, while Biden had no hesitation in heckling and interrupting his challenger. Biden's strongest case was when he accused Romney and Ryan of wanting a tax cut for the wealthy at the expense of the middle class. Also, after Ryan criticized Obama's stimulus spending, Biden reminded Ryan of how he put in requests to get some of that money for his Wisconsin district. Ryan also argued that Romney's policies would promote more economic growth. Biden's closing statements were not as good as Ryan's, as Biden grew more mellow near the final minutes. Sources feel his change of demeanor was caused by a question regarding his Roman Catholic faith. In further local news, 270 University of Louisville students were forced out of their dorms. There was no illegal activity from the students, but mold is what is driving these students away from their home, away from home. After complaints about mold in the dorms, the university did a campus-wide search and found high levels of mold in Miller Hall. The timing of this is not good for those near 300 students, since they are in the midst of midterms. However, U of L feels this is the best idea for those living in Miller Hall. Students are being moved to other dorms, university-affiliated housing, and hotel rooms near campus. Those originally from Louisville are asked to move back in with their families. In local sports news, John Calipari does it again and signs some of the nation's top recruits for next year's basketball program. Guard James Young announced his commitment to UK on Thursday. Like the highly anticipated Harrison twins did last week, Young announced his commitment live on ESPNU's Recruiting Nation, saying, quote, "Kentucky has always been my dream school." Michigan State, Syracuse, and Kansas were among other schools interested in Young, but the consensus thought he would choose Kentucky, and he did. Young's commitment continues to add to the Cat status of having the #1 recruiting class in the nation, and it shows promise of getting even better. Our last segment of the evening is about a dance craze that seems to be taking over the nation. The new song Gangnam Style by Psy is all over the radio airwaves, spitting out Korean lyrics and a catchy beat. This new style of music is called K-pop, and is something South Korea has been building up to for the past 20 years. Korean record labels transformed the way music was released, with new songs being broadcasted first on national television instead of on the radio, like we do over here in the United States. The video, which can be found on YouTube, is mastered and perfected and has gotten tons of views on YouTube from all over the world. Sources say that Gangnam Style was made up like any Korean export, well thought out, mastered, and exported for mass consumption. That wraps up this week's episode of Week in Review. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you soon. Bye!